Hello, my name's Kelly Moriarty, and I wanted to share with you a little story about my experience with mental health. When I was younger, in about 6th through 8th grade, I was really struggling with an addiction to drugs and alcohol. And while I was struggling with that, I was so afraid to tell anyone in my life that I wasn't okay and that I needed help. And I was afraid to tell them because I thought that they would feel so overwhelmed with all of my thoughts and my feelings and my struggles. And I was afraid that if I told anyone all of those issues, they would be so overwhelmed and say, you know what, I can't handle this. And so I was so apprehensive to let people in and understand my pain and understand my anxiety. And so I recall back to this time when I was going through this period of feeling so isolated and so alone and so afraid to open up. And I had this 8th grade teacher that would just call me into her office every single week, and she would do the same thing. She would just roll up to me in her chair and she would kind of look at me and she would just say, "How's it going, Kel?" And every week I would say the exact same thing. The two words that have hurt me the most in my life. I'm fine. And the week would go by and it would happen again. "How's it going, Kel? What's going on?" And I would always say to Mrs. Gerhardt, "I'm fine." And every time I would tell her I'm fine, I would start to feel like all of my feelings were getting bigger and I was feeling even more alone. So I was seeking someone to help me, and then when someone finally made themselves readily available and able and willing to listen to me and help me, it was so hard to get honest and to share all of those things with her. And so as time went on and I continued to push away and tell people I was fine, I started to struggle even more. And as I eventually started to scream out for help, years later, all of my friends and family said the exact same thing. They said, "Kel, why didn't you tell us sooner?" No one was mad at me. No one yelled at me. I didn't get in any trouble. All of those things I was so afraid of happening never happened, years down the line. And I thought in that moment, when I was finally getting the help that I needed so desperately, back to those little moments throughout the weeks in middle school when I sat in front of an 8th grade teacher and when she made herself available to me. And I never understood that it was okay to have struggles. It was okay to be anxious. It was okay to feel depressed. It was okay to have these struggles. What wasn't okay was to hold them in all those years and to continue to try and fix them myself. And so as I reflect on this, I recognize that the sooner I ask for help, the better I can be in the solution to my problem. And that if I'm struggling constantly, it will be really difficult to just figure out what's wrong and fix it all by myself, because I had tried and failed for so many years. And so I use this tool every day. There could be multiple times a day in my work life or in my personal life where all I have to do is turn to the person next to me and say, "I'm not understanding this and I need help." Or to a close friend, "I'm feeling these feelings and I'm not sure what to do with them." And the instant I ask someone for help, I get immediate relief. And now I have someone else carrying all of those burdens and problems with me, and I'm not so alone anymore. And I always think back to those moments where I could have just asked for help, but instead I said that I was fine.